is Omar, and fully recovered from swim bladder disease, as you can see. He looks much happier. He's buoyant, and he's swimming instead of being on the bottom all the time. He never stopped eating, but it was just hard for him to get the pellets. I used to have to almost hand feed him without getting too close, but yeah, just a beautiful flower horn who recovered nicely. Epsom salt. Epsom salt in the water, take him out, give him Epsom salt baths, which are more concentrated. And that did it. It took about a week. It's a process, but he's good now. The water's nice and clean. And I'm checking the water parameters. And if you're getting into the hobby, if you want to know anything about why this happens, is you got to make sure you do your water changes. Do your water changes and don't overfeed. And try to use pellets that sink. If they take in air, they might get swim bladder disease. That's common in fancy goldfish. So as you can see, there he is. He's very peaceful. Okay, my other tank, we got some diseases going on with my dog. We got, this is like a zoo in here. We got some diseases going on areas in the other tanks. I'm going to show you now. Okay, there's no disease in this tank. What this tank is my snail breeding tank. I breed mystery snails in here, and I find them fascinating. I love the way their shells develop, the different colors that they get, and how much they reproduce. These are mystery snails. They are not hermaphrodites, so I've got a couple of couples in there. I've got to, because they've reproduced a couple times. See, there's one back there. There's a big one here. And I have some food there. That food will be gone. They eat a lot. They eat a lot. If you are not familiar with snails, these guys eat a lot. So you get a nice close-up of this guy here. Guys are very camera shy. They usually are more active than this, but I guess they don't want to be right now. After all, they are snails, so they are slow, but these guys can get more active than this. And yes, they do go all the way to the top of the tank. You see how I have the water so it's not all the way to the top? That's because that's where they lay their eggs, clutches of eggs. They lay them on the glass outside of the water, because otherwise they would die. Nature is incredible, and these guys have been around for thousands and thousands of years, way before us. And so they've evolved, and they've kind of like, in some ways they've evolved, in some ways they stayed the same, but look, they're surviving, and the way they reproduce is pretty awesome. And they do clean the algae off the tank. They are great cleaners and that sort of thing. But I have them because I just think they look great. They're snails. Some people think that they're ugly, and but I beg to differ, and that's to each his own, right? Let me show you the problem tank that I have. Well, I had a problem with the Elmer the Flowerhorn before, right? With the swim bladder. And now I have a more serious disease with my other Flowerhorn, posse, and with my geophagus in my community tank. And I'll show you that now. This is my community tank. Although, I mean, it's just, we got some big fish. It's not huge community, but one of these guys is sick with what's called hole in the head disease. And as the name implies, it's just that. They get a parasite that feeds off their tissue and then makes a hole in their head. And this is the geophagus that is affected right now. I don't know how clearly you can see it there, but it's right there in between the eyes. That will get worse with time if not treated, and it'll eventually kill it. It's also contagious because it's a parasite. So I am treating. I started today. Did a whole water change. Added some salt, aquarium salt, the right dosage. Basically, basically with parasites, what you want to do is create an environment that is not favorable to their survival, and that's what you do when you add salt. Doesn't necessarily kill them, just makes it unfavorable for them. Um, and then I added an antibiotic that's indicated for this type of parasite. It's Metro something or other. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and that's in there. I also added something that's called Parasite Guard, which I will be now including in all my tanks as a preventative to get. See, there it is. You can see it to prevent this stuff because this is nasty. Unfortunately, it takes a little time to heal, but we'll see. And and more unfortunately than that is, guess who else has it? Yeah, Posse. My other Flowerhorn, hole in the head. This will probably be easier to see because it's really like it looks like a puncture. I thought it was that he hurt himself because he hurts himself against stuff. That's why the tank is so bare. I said he must have bumped his head with something, but no, that's hole in the head. Let me see if I can get a clear shot. You see that? You see that round thing in between his eyes? If it's not hole in the head, I'm treating for hole in the head because I don't like the way it looks. And see it closer there because he's just coming up. You know, there it is. You can see it closely there. He's coming up for he's putting on a show for camera and everybody else that's watching. So anyway, hole in the head, deadly disease if not treated. However, I started treating both of these tanks, same treatment. We changed the water 100%. We had salt. We had metrominosol, something. I think that's, I don't know how you pronounce that. And Paragard, which is, again, Paragard is a chemical that they sell, which makes it very, very, very uncomfortable for parasites to live. So I think everybody, I'm going to start doing it. You should use that stuff, Paragard by Seachem, and avoid getting these nasty parasites from your fish. Luckily, they're not showing any symptoms. Like he's still eating, still swimming, so that's good. When it gets into a latter stage, advanced stage, yeah, it gets ugly. Okay, I'm going to show you my fish, my goldfish tank. Goldfish tank, this guys are just nothing but activity, swimming, and eating. But look at the beautiful finish. Luckily, there's no disease in this tank. Knock on wood. I did start adding Paragard to this. These guys are also very prone to swim bladder disease, so I feed them pellets that sink so they don't get any air. That's what causes the problem in some cases. But they have developed beautifully. Their finish, like I said, is beautiful. The colors, they don't really pick on each other. There is a pleco in here that I have for algae and stuff, but I don't know where he's at. He doesn't like being on camera. I don't know where he is, but we see him. He likes to be in his pyramid. I think he thinks he's a pharaoh or something, but no, I don't see him. And he's not up here. As you can see, interesting fact, I have a heater in this tank, and some people will say, well, goldfish don't need heat. They thrive in cold water. And my philosophy is, my opinion is, they survive well. They survive in cold water. They thrive in warm water. So, so there's that. Second is that the heater has a thermostat, and so it prevents temperature fluctuations from going up and down all over the place. That is harmful to the fish, stressful to the fish, and when they get stressed out, guess what? That's when diseases start to pop up. Their immune system gets weak. Hopefully my guys will get cured, and hopefully I'll get a couple new. There's a snail tank over there. Hopefully I'll get a couple new additions. I'm thinking about getting crayfish because I miss my blue crayfish, and we'll see how we can do that. Anyway, we'll see you online.